The face of the Indian consumer and Indian retail has been changing since the 1990s and continues to develop and transform as the economy grows and the Indian mindset changes. So what does the future hold for Indian retail and what challenges will retailers face? We speak to Purendra Kumar, an AVP from Technopak, which conducted an extensive study on these issues. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Your study points to many facts on how Indian consumers have changed the way they consume products and services and continues to evolve. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we have been at Technopak, we have been studying the consumption behavior for the last 12 years. And what we have seen, there is a tremendous shift in the type of products that Indian consumer is consuming. Say initially 10 years back, we have seen that a lot of share of wallet was spent on food. Even 5 years back, it was around 40% of the discretionary expenditure for a household. It's now around 36%, and we see that it will decrease to 32% in 5 years down the line. And it has two implications. A, people are earning more, and the percentage of spend on the food is going down. So people have a lot of money to spend on various other categories. So there are a lot of categories like apparel, home, electronics, eating out, travel, tourism. These are the categories where people are now spending, and we think that these, with the growth of economy, these categories will be the category to watch out for. And second is in terms of even the supply side. Initially, there were not much option for the consumers to spend on, and with modern retailers and new entrepreneurs coming in, we have seen that even the market is taking very, very clear segmentations. Means you have even in apparel, you will find that values in casuals or formal or Reebok kids, women's, all sorts of categorization is happening, which are all leading consumers to spend more.
And we've also seen the number of organized or modern retailers grow tremendously over the last 5-6 years in India. Tell us a little bit about modern retail in India, what the prospects are for modern retail in the future.
If you look at Indian modern retail, it started off with the apparel. Even the large format like department store, like Shops and all, were mostly led by apparel, because we had a very, very strong sourcing of apparel in India. The food and grocery segment, which is again, I told you earlier, that is the biggest segment, that saw the investment from modern retailers, say 5 years, 6 years back, when Big Bazaar came in, and then Reliance and Birla, everybody started putting in money in the supermarkets. So the modern retail currently, which is around 17 billion USD, that will grow by around 25-30% per annum, and it should reach around 75 USD billion by 2013. And you will find in the modern retail, the growth will be not only led by the Indian retailers, there will be a lot of international retailers which have already come in or are in the final stages of fixing their plans.
So what does this mean for mom and pop shops in India?
See, the kiranas, which we call the mom and pop shop in India, they are going to be there, because if you look at the Indian retail growth, which is 6 to 8% on a base of around 375 USD billion, and then the modern retail growth, there will be definitely the increase in consumption, that itself is so much that only modern retail won't be able to cater to that. So kiranas, we earlier 2 years back, when Reliance, Birla, everybody started their plans for getting into retail, there were talks that kiranas will go off, and actually now our studies shows that people find kiranas to be very, very compelling for them to go and shop for their food and grocery, because of the convenience, because of their locations very, very close to the customer catchment, and also kiranas have changed completely in terms of the products they are offering, because of the service they are giving.
Over the last few months, we've been hearing that some retailers are, slowing down expansion plans or even shutting shop. So can you give us a realistic picture of how retailers in different segments are doing during the slowdown?
See, actually, if you look at in the slowdown, definitely there is some kind of a slowdown in terms of the growth of the modern retailers. But the category like food and grocery, where I don't think there is any slowdown, so those categories are taken care of even if there is slowdown, because India didn't have that kind of a recession what we have seen anywhere in the world. But in categories, lifestyle goods categories like electronics again, it has done well. Maybe the reason is there was a salary increase in the central government employees, and there were a lot of bonuses that were given to them. But in categories like furniture, kitchen, categories like high-end electronics, and those kind of categories, and apparel, premium apparel again, in those categories we have seen that there has been a drop in terms of growth. But yes, these are all short-term phenomena. The things are looking much better, and we feel that by the October quarter, things will much better than what we have seen.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching LiveMint.com.